Dogs chasing you, Phil. There's
If
dogs.
you went back to the World War, you could be tapping into my Uncle John, because he was in. I'm just wondering if does that work like that?
Yes, can do.
Because obviously I wasn't in the Second World War, was I? I don't know.
No, too young to, you wouldn't be.
But in my family, my Uncle John, he died on. You know the film they made about building the bridge over the River Kwai?
Oh, I like that. It's one of my favourite
That
films.
was jungle,
Yeah.
and there was a lot went on there, and they died from dysentery and stuff like
Yes.
that. And they said that for every sleeper that they laid on that railway, one of the Commonwealth soldiers was died for it, and my Uncle John was one of those guys.
Yeah.
So that's interesting now.
And also when I'm looking at you, I can see an arrow going past you. It's like an archer there, and it's just going past.
I had one in the neck once.
Did you? I can definitely feel so many lives you've had, interesting lives, but you've always had this fighting spirit in you.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got a fighting spirit.
Yeah, funny thing is, right, when I first came into this body, I was really young, I couldn't understand why people were so horrid, wanted to hurt me all the time.
Yeah.
And from that, it's like a deep emotion, because in my own self, I think there's a purity, a kindness towards, naturally as a kid. And I couldn't understand why people wanted to hurt me, and from that, it was like in my gentleness or my weakness or whatever you want to call it, I became strong, because you've got no right to hurt me. And from that, it's like massive amount of strength came. And I remember being in the boxing ring, and a couple of times it came up there, and I started boxing training just to get fit. And you go in a spar, you have a spar with the other guys, like just to teach each other. You don't go to hurt each other, but you never hurt each other in sparring. You teach each other, so you don't try to knock each other out.
Spartan, aren't you?
Yeah, and sometimes I got in the ring, and this guy's trying to hurt me. This ain't sparring, and then I ignore it, and then he's doing it. Don't do that, mate. And then I'm becoming very angry. And then suddenly it just like a volcano explodes, and then I just go straight in there, and it's like something is almost like a superhuman sometimes that I amaze myself actually when I even thinking about it. I remember, one or two things. Yeah, I wrote about that in my book, didn't I?
Do you remember you're also a yogi?
Vaguely I remember that stuff that Craig talks about, but it didn't for some reason have a strong impression, and I do remember meeting somebody like what Craig talks about, like the Babaji type person.
Yes.
I mean, let's say we got all of those city powers, but this fella, he was like beyond God, beyond God-man, and extra special entity this person was. He came in the form of a body, but he had the power to manifest. He could say to you, what do you want?
Yes.
And what gift would you like? And you'd say, I want to be a psychic medium. And he says, so, and then your next life you're coming back like that. And then he said to me, what do you want to be? Enlightenment. And then you come back next life, you're going to find enlightenment. And this fella had the power, this being or entity or in a human form, he had the power to manifest those things, and he was well known about like a myth type thing. And they talk about someone called Babaji. I don't know if that's it or.
Well, most of these gurus, they respect the Indian people from the Babaji, Sharavana or Babas, they call them that. But Siddhic powers is somebody that's beyond our comprehension. They can move things, it's psychokinesis, they can materialise things, and suddenly vibhuti-ational things like that. And the experiences you've had in your life, a real experience of going back in the past. And you're not a bad person, I want to say, because I've known you for a long time, and I'm going to say you're
you only see good in me because you're good yourself.
No, you are a good person. You are a good person.
She's
You've got a good heart, and you're a good man, Phil, 100%. Even when people have hurt you, you still try to look for the good in them. But you should never question yourself, because I feel it makes us stronger. And you've got a lovely wife that's quite spiritual and supports you, and your two energies blend in as one. And that, because she's...
They blended in this morning nicely as well.
Oh, did they? Well, we won't go into that, all right? That's another vibration,
Sorry,
okay?
Jane.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep
them vibrations down there. Don't bring them up here.
I know
Get
you've
my
got sense of
meaning.
humour.
But yeah, you've got your soulmate that helps you. It's like
right,
my
Jane.
soulmate
Yeah.
is Craig. Where on earth would I find another man like that? I couldn't.
Yeah.
Truly, I couldn't. And I wouldn't want another man because to me, he's part of me. He's protective and how can I say? He's a good man, a good teacher.
He's a quality man.
He's a quality man.
I don't have many friends, but he's the only one.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
good.
if that says something about me or says something about him.
Right. Oh, that's nice. But I believe, you know, if we're talking about past lives, certain people come into our lives.
Yeah.
You know, you look at it and think, I know you.
Yeah.
There's something about you. And you know that the words they're going to come out with, and you feel as one.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's like, I only like being with spiritual people and that, and I'm not judgmental on anybody. When I see a homeless person, I feel you can't be judgmental. You don't know how suffering they suffered. You know, that could be my son or that. And then you think, you know, and that person could have had, you know, it's like years ago, I don't remember, like tramps years ago, they were called tramps and that. And some of them were multi-millionaires, but they wanted to live on the road.
Yeah.
Or I remember when we lived in this big house, one knocked the door and my mother made some cheese sandwiches and gave him a flask of tea. He was happy as Larry.
Yeah. And that's such a big thing to a person like that.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing, is that you can actually touch somebody deeply with something so simple.
Do you think the best things in life are simple?
Yes, of course, we've lost touch with it sometimes.
Yeah, this is why good values should come back again this 21st century, because people have lost their way.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
I think sometimes it's a good thing to lose everything.
Yes,
and then just to be back pure again, come back to yourself, and then use that time to be strong again, because the more you have, the more weaker you become. And you know, it's like though you're being owned by all these things.
Yes.
And then as soon as you lose them, you come back indoors again to yourself.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it, Phil. That's lovely.
Just